Everyone, my friends, beautiful people, I want to welcome you to the newest episode of the Lead by Example show. My name is Mr. Nathan Brown. Thank you for joining me here today. This is your first time listening. This is your first time here. This show, this energy is dedicated to the true principles of leadership. Focus, determination, drive, honor, discipline, dedication, nobility, and others. Now, we're going to get right into the message today. Since 2020, this topic has kind of been, I won't even say that. Leadership is very important. Leadership is very powerful. Leadership can move mountains, which is why leadership is done so wrong so often. Now, when it comes to a mayor in Canada, it'd be a mayor. In America, another place, it'd be president. If I were to elect somebody to be president, now of course there could be a lot of things that I would want. But for the sake of the length of this video, I just broke it down or condensed it to three things. I would want my leader, my mayor, my president to promote personal excellence, personal responsibility, and unity. Now let's start with personal excellence. A home, a community, a sports team, a business, a city, a country is only as strong as its people. And if its people are mentally weak and physically poor, that makes the team, the city, the home, the country weak. I would want my leader to constantly encourage his or her own people about the importance of living a life above the line. Now, most politicians do a tremendous job of leading with what they're going to do for their people, which is fine. But personally, again, this is just my opinion, my friend. All I want my government to do is keep the taxes low, keep the economy strong, keep pedophiles in prison, and leave the rest to me. Because ultimately, nobody's going to fix my life but me. No politician is coming to save me. No politician is coming to save you. Ultimately, it is and has been and always will be up to the individual to live an excellent life. And all true leaders know this. I would appreciate for my leader to tell me how much better my life will be when I commit, when I put in the work, when I stop giving in to excuses, when I start being focused on better and greater things. Society is always better when the government is small and the power is left with the people. When people are left to their own devices, we start to see what they're capable of. I don't need government to promise me to make this or that bad. I just need government to keep the laws simple and strong, leave the rest to me. I want my leader to constantly tell his or her people about the importance and the power of the individual. Of how great your life will be when you read, when you become well read, when you get in shape, when you stop putting bad information to your brain, when you become a better brother, father, husband, cousin, man. Those are the kind of things, that's one of the things that moves mountains. Now, before we get to number 2, of course, I want my leader to be smart, but I wouldn't place a whole bunch of stress on the academic accolades of individuals. Again, I want my president to be intelligent and smart, but I wouldn't place a huge amount of emphasis on their academics. Why, you may ask? Well, if you've gone to college, are you using a college degree? Let me ask you, are you or are you not smarter now than you were in high school? And how much of what you learned in high school is helping you right now? I want to read this to you before I continue. The A students work for the B students. The B students work for the C students. And the D students dedicate the buildings. The most successful among us are not always the class valedictorians, but they are the best self-educated people on the planet. Grades are nice and they're good to show your parents, but they don't equate to success post-school. Now let's go on to personal responsibility. And personal responsibility is closely linked to personal excellence. Any leader who has one great thing to understand the importance of not placing blame. Personal responsibility is not taught in most households. It's very hard to say and to admit, it's my fault. That was my fault. My wife left me because of me. I got fired because of me. Playing the blame game, even when it seems justified, is unattractive and immature. It's not a trait of a king or queen. I don't want my leader to constantly tell me that no matter how difficult or how shitty the past was, the outcome was on you. And the responsibility is on you to control the outcome moving forward. The responsibility of the desired result is on you. What about the economy? I'm not getting paid enough. This happened here. I got evicted. My friend, I'm not arguing the many, many surprising, shitty aspects of life. That's the main thing on this channel. I'll never argue against how bad life can get. But I will always speak to the glorious feeling of overcoming those shitty experiences. I like martial arts. One of the things martial arts teaches us is that, again, the outcome is on you. When was the last time somebody else paid for your vacation? When was the last time somebody else bought you a new car or new house? When was the last time somebody paid for you to take your wife or girlfriend out? The responsibility to create a great life is on you. And I want my leader to emphasize personal responsibility as well as personal excellence. Let's move on to number 3. This is probably or possibly the most important thing I would want my leader, mayor, or president to talk about. A country divided is a country weak. A country united is a country powerful. I would want my leader to to not address his or her people as black men or Jewish men or white women or brown men or trans or gay people. I would want my leader to address his or her people, as Canadians, as Americans, as family. We don't have to love every single thing about one another, but we must respect each other. We must be able to put aside our petty egos in times of great stress and work together to make the culture, the climate, the environment, and the future better. We have a great responsibility now. Cleaning our homes, strengthening our communities is not a one person, a one man, a one woman. It's not a gay thing. It's not a trans thing. It's not a white thing. It's not a black thing. It's not black versus white right now. It's not conservative versus liberal right now. It's not trans versus this, not trans versus that. It's good versus evil. And great leaders call the good people to rise up and stop the bad people. Trouble is ego. Trouble is it's so easy to speak to our differences. It's so easy to speak about what's different. I want to ask you to look at sports teams, although you could, but look up some of the most successful companies, like First Form, a company run by President Guzman called Athlete, and First Form. Both companies are highly diverse, and both companies are doing very, very well. And there are many others like that. I'm sure there are sports teams like that. There are some things we're not going to tolerate. There are some things we mustn't tolerate, like pedophilia, like sex trafficking. But most people are not for those things. It's up to us to sit down, to listen, and engage and seek to understand one another. Maybe there are things that we don't like. There will be things that we will like. And it's perfectly fine to say to somebody, I don't agree with everything you have to say, but I still vibe with you. Finding common ground between people is a sign of maturity. The weak boy looks for things that will not make him get along with people. But it's a good sign, a mature sign, when you try to find something to connect with the other person. My friends, these are just the things I would look for in a president, mayor, or leader. Of course, there are other things you could talk about, but if the candidate is not talking about personal responsibility, personal excellence, and unity, then I wouldn't really vote for them. Think about that. We must call our people to elevate, not divide and separate. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. If something in this video spoke to you, if something you heard resonated with your spirit, then I kindly ask that you like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. It helps the message grow. I again want to thank you for your time. Go out there, read, work out, train, think, listen, and do better. And expect better. Remember, personal responsibility, personal excellence, and unity. Thank you for your time, my friends. I'll see you on the next episode of Lead by Example.